What up, guys? Hey, this is Jon Acosta of Acosta Productions, and welcome to Tutorial Tuesdays, where we go over the latest and greatest in Final Cut Pro, Adobe After Effects, and Adobe Premiere so you can edit and make money efficiently. Today, I'm actually working remotely from Atlanta and heading straight to San Francisco today in about 2 hours, so I got to make this one quick. But I wanted to kind of go over a little bit of what we can do with wave files and waveforms inside of Final Cut Pro. This also translates in Adobe Premiere, and I would normally show this to you in that interface as well, but today they're very limited on time, so let's go over what we can do in Final Cut Pro and just know that it does translate 100% into Adobe Premiere. Alright, so right here we have a project that we worked on while we were in Atlanta for a lady by the name of Marshawn Evans. And she is just an amazing motivational speaker who has been on Miss America, CNN, CBS, The Apprentice. She met Donald Trump, all that good stuff. Anyway, we have a project and an interview here where she is talking directly into the camera, and it's a great frame here. We have her little posters in the background. It needs to be straightened out just a little bit, whatever. What we're talking about today is not that, but more so the actual waveforms that we see here at the bottom. Now, most people, when they're editing, like to turn these things on, and that's great. I actually love the fact that you can turn them on and see exactly how the waves are interacting and working inside of your video. So I'm going to go ahead and turn them on for us, and I'm going to use a shortcut key that I normally always use, and I'll share it with you guys in just a moment. But for now, I'm going to go ahead and turn them on. And voila, as we see, if you guys don't know what waveforms are, now you do. It's these lines that you see here that are basically what sound looks like if you were to write it down or jot it down onto a piece of paper. It's a waveform. So a couple of tips here. The first one is don't turn these things on all the time, okay? And the reason why is because what the waveform do to your computer is it actually slows down the processing power, because if you have an extended interview such as this one that we see here with multiple waveforms, you have one right here at the top and you have one right below it, it's going to really bog down your system and make it so you have to wait minutes or extra seconds every time you move the timeline, which is not any fun. Now I'm going to go ahead and snap our timeline, and I'll show you guys how to do this as well in just a minute. I'm going to snap our timeline so we can see everything. And notice how it's taking a moment to adjust and to even catch up to all the things that I've just exposed to the timeline. So basically, in a nutshell, the waveforms are great, but you don't want to turn them on all the time. And so let's rewind real quick and talk about how we can turn them off and on and toggle them when we need them and then not have them when we don't. Okay, so the way that I always do this, the way that I turn my waveforms on, is by using a shortcut key. The shortcut key is actually Command, Option, and the letter W. When you hold down Command, Option, and W, it actually toggles these guys off and on accordingly. Cool stuff, right? Now, what's great right now is they are popping up because they've already been loaded, but if this was a brand new project that I just turned on and I just exposed the waveforms like so, it would take moments after moments to actually upload this information. And as we know in the editing world, moments are key, moments are crucial because time is money. Given that tip, Command, Option, W can let you toggle your waveforms off and on, and honestly that's going to save you more time than you even know. It's a great tip to have, and I guarantee it'll save you a lot of time when you're working in your edits. So my biggest tip for you here is when you're zoomed in somewhere, let's say on a piece, this is about a 2 or 3 minute piece here that we're looking at inside the timeline, we would then turn on our waveforms by doing Command, Option, W, boom, we would see them. And the good thing about this is we don't have to have the computer load the entire screen's worth of waveforms, just solely that little piece, and it'll do so a lot quicker because we're not having to look at the entire thing. Your computer is processing the ability to see everything, and it only will show you what's exposed in the timeline currently. So we're looking at this, we see it, we turn on our waveforms, and boom, they're there. Great. Now, another tip that I like to do that I actually discovered recently, it's a really nice way to tackle your edits when you're trying to edit with sound, which we'll go into in later episodes, but for now, just know that if over here on the left in the sidebar, we have the ability to pull these waveforms bigger so that we can see them more detailed. And by doing so, we're able to cut them more efficiently because we've made them wider. And then we can zoom into them and actually move in exactly where we want and see where the words basically are. These little humps that you see here are basically different words that she is saying on screen. And what's cool is we can actually come in, and if we need to cut out a specific word, we can come on in and we can use our blade tool to just blade out specific parts or specific portions. I do this a lot when I'm trying to edit somebody that speaks and says a lot of ums and ands and ers and pauses, awkward pauses. It's really a nice way to make a person sound a lot more eloquent than they really are. And that's the job as an editor, is to make someone look better on camera than they, truly are. That's movie magic for you. Anyway, let's review real quick. The first tip, again, is Command Option W. That turns the waveforms off or on, toggling off and on, which is great. Saves you processing time and rendering time on your computer, therefore allowing you to edit much more efficiently. Secondly, over here in the sidebar, we're able to move our waveforms bigger or smaller, which allows us to see them better and therefore edit them more precisely. The last tip I want to give you guys is the ability to turn on the snapping of your timeline, which I use religiously. And this is how it's done. If you hold your Shift key and hit the letter Z as in zebra, Shift Z will allow us to, boom, automatically see our timeline all at once. It shows you start to finish. Whatever's on the timeline, it's going to snap it right into focus so you can see everything all at once, and therefore you can begin to edit it more and more. That's a great tip. I love using it, especially when I zoom into something like right here, and I'm going to cut this real quick. Boom, boom. I take this piece out, I delete it, a ripple delete, and now I want to see how the timeline looks in regards to time, how long it is after that edit. I can hit Shift Z, and there, boom, I see the entire timeline yet again, or I can see exactly where I am, and I can never get lost. I know timelines can be very they can be very detailed, and they can be very much of a headache if you have too much going on. So using the Shift Z option allows you to kind of help you see exactly where you are in your timeline at all times. So there it is, guys. Shift Z, Command Option W will let you see the waveforms off and on. And that's it for today. Also, please click on the button up top to subscribe and below to like if you like this video, or have any comments or any questions in regards to what we talked about today. Just go ahead and let me know what's up. Let me know if you guys enjoyed the video, and I will see you guys next Tuesday. Thanks.